All right, when you're ready to begin, find yourself in a standing position at the top front edge of your mat. We're going to start in our Tadasana, or our mountain pose. I will face you as I work us through our setup of this posture. This will be the foundation for all of our postures throughout practice. So if it feels comfortable and is safe for you in this moment, go ahead and close your eyes. We're going to close our eyes here to invite in our proprioception, our inner awareness of what's going on and happening in our inner body. We will build each and every shape, each and every flow from the inside out, inviting in that inner awareness, inviting our inner power, our inner truth, our inner wisdom to shine bright from inside to the outside and onward. Start to check in with how your feet feel on the earth. Maybe wiggle the toes, maybe rock from front to back, maybe rock from side to side. Just notice any sensation that you feel, the texture of noticing the texture that you're standing on. Perhaps it's a yoga mat, perhaps it's just the floor, perhaps you're outside, maybe a towel. Just bring your awareness to whatever it is that you feel beneath your feet. From this sensation, we're going to start to root into the earth, find ourselves grounded, find our stability that we will hold on to throughout our practice. So go ahead and spread your toes nice and wide, maybe wiggle them. And then slowly and intentionally place each one back down onto your surface. We're going to find our rooting and our grounding points in our feet, the base of the big toe, the base of the pinky toe, and the center point of the heel. If you'd like, maybe draw some figure eights, starting with the base of that right big toe, finding some awareness in the point of the left heel, shifting your awareness to the base of the left pinky toe, on to the base of the left big toe, center point of that right heel, right pinky toe, and all the way back to where you started. Just notice what you feel there, maybe feeling the arches of the feet begin to wake up. From here, you can start to bring some awareness into your calf muscles, perhaps giving them a gentle squeeze around your bones. Keep your knees nice and soft, not locking out anything here. Perhaps the knee caps will rise up. Hug your thigh bones in on all four sides. Try to avoid clenching those butt cheeks together, but just isometrically pull the glutes in. This is going to invite our pelvis to come directly underneath our ribs. Belly button will draw in and up. We've engaged our pelvic floor. Our core muscles right where our solar plexus, our power center, lives. In doing so, when the ribs stack over the hips, notice the heart space open. Perhaps you found yourself closed off from stress or tension, or just from daily tasks, sitting at the computer, driving, carrying and picking up children. Allow the shoulders to roll down and back, shoulder blades traveling down towards the tailbone as the fingertips reach towards the earth. Soften anything that does not need to be working here, including your thoughts and including your breath. There's no right or wrong way to breathe, so just allow yourself to be aware of your breath, aware of where it originates, where it flows, and perhaps how it leaves. Maybe in doing so, you notice that your inhales get just a little bit deeper and your exhales get just a little bit longer. Stay in this shape as long as you need to feel grounded and rooted and supported. And perhaps just check in with why you pressed play today, why you stepped on your mat, what intention you have for your practice, what expectations you're holding. And then we'll just take all of that and we'll pack it into a suitcase and press it to the side, leaving ourselves open to expansion, experience, and opportunity on the mat. We're going to move through some sun salutations. Keeping this Tadasana, this mountain shape pose in mind, I'm going to walk you through several modifications. Whether this is your first time practicing or your 100th time practicing, I'm going to encourage you to try some variations here. Maybe just see what happens. And then as you find yourself comfortable with these sun salutations, you can invite yourself to do them anytime, any day. Take a deep breath in, reach the arms up overhead. From here, we're going to bend our knees, let the sitting bones soften back as we bow forward. Our first forward fold, maybe you're practicing in the morning, maybe after a long day. Wherever it is, just take several breaths, knees are bent. You can grab opposite elbows here. If you have blocks, maybe place your hands on a block as you just invite the breath into the back side of the body. Take a couple more breaths here. Keep your feet rooted into the earth. And then we'll take a deep breath in as we find a flat back. Fingertips are going to come right below your knees, maybe to blocks or maybe to earth, just depending on the space that you have in the back side of your body. From here, we'll go ahead and root into that right foot, stepping our left foot back. Soften the left knee down to the earth. This is where a blanket or a towel might come into handy if you need to pat it. From here, we're going to take our hands to our hips. I'm still leaning on my right upper thigh. I'm going to start to pull my pelvis forward, belly button to spine, roll up into a low lunge. We're just going to do this for the first round of our sun salutations, just to invite a little more space into our body. Just leave those hands down on your hips. No need to overexert yourself by reaching them up just yet. Take a couple more breaths here. Maybe you notice by stacking those ribs over your hips, you find a little sensation in the front of that left thigh, or maybe you don't. Maybe you'd like to lunge a little bit further and just see what happens there. But I'll encourage you throughout this practice and each and every practice to back off and see what you notice. See if you can, quote, go deeper into your pose with doing just a little less. From here, I'm going to take my fingertips down to the earth, and if you're practicing at home and have friends with you down on the mat, just make sure you're mindful of their presence. And I'll bring that right knee beside my left. I'm going to take a deep breath in, tuck my toes under, drop the belly button down, collarbone spread. And then as I exhale, I'm going to round my spine, chin towards my chest. Next, inhale, drop the belly button down, tuck the toes under. This time I'm going to leave my toes tucked under as I round my spine, pick up my knees, and then ripple it back to a downward facing dog. Take a moment here, pedal it out. Maybe there's a difference between right and left, since we've already started to open up on one side. And then from here, we're going to slowly make the journey just back to the top edge of our mat. Again, if you have a friend, be mindful of your friend. Take a deep breath in, lift up halfway and lengthen. Exhale, fold. We're going to bend the knees, get nice and bouncy in those knees, pull the belly button in. Same thing, we're going to start to bring our pelvis forward, belly button to spine as we ripple it up. Maybe reach the arms up overhead, maybe that doesn't feel good in that spine. We'll all exhale, meeting hands to heart center. Allow yourself this moment to check in with how you're feeling. Be real with yourself, be honest. Are you checking out of your practice? Are you fully committed? And there's no right or wrong answer. There's no shame, there's no judgment. We're just getting square with what we're working with. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, bend the knees, slowly melt your way down. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. This time we'll root into that left foot, step your right foot back. Dropping that right knee. Again, I'm still leaning on that left upper thigh. Hands are at my hips as I ripple it all the way up into that low lunge. Ribs over hips. I already have sensation in the front of my right thigh. If you don't, maybe lunge a little bit further forward. Again, you can always pull back, but it's a little bit easier to start from further back and then inch your way forward. Now I have two friends on my mat. I'm going to take my hands back down to the earth. Left knee will meet the right. We'll come back into that cat pose, dropping the belly button down, collarbone spread. Inhale. Exhale, round chin towards our chest. Tuck the toes under. Inhale, drop the belly button down, leaving those toes tucked under as you exhale. chin to your chest, belly button to spine, knees lift up as you ripple it back, downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here. Really spread those fingertips wide. That fleshy part in between the index finger and the thumb, root down. In doing so, you may notice that those forearms spiral in, biceps out. Thigh bones press back. I'm still drawing my belly button in and up, activating my pelvic floor, right where that Mula Bandha is. Sealing energy into my body. Take this opportunity to just recognize where energy may be leaking out. Where you're trying too hard, where your mind is wandering, where you're trying too hard with your breath. And see if you can just find some softness. Go ahead and bend your elbows, bend your knees. Inhale. Exhale, press the earth away. Maybe find a little more space in your spine. We're going to start to slowly make the journey back to the top edge of your mat. And fold, knees are soft. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Bending those knees, once again, ripple it forward. Pelvis comes forward, reach it up. Exhale, hands to heart. Notice how you feel. Just keep checking in with yourself. If you check out of your practice, that's okay. Just see if you can invite yourself back in. And if you can't, that's okay too. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, fold it forward, knees bent. This time we're going to step it back into a plank position. Now, if this is too much for you, go ahead and drop your knees into a half plank. Oftentimes, we build that strength, we build that resiliency from getting stronger in our modifications versus pushing ourselves too hard too soon. If you're in plank, I'm going to invite you to soften your elbows, not for chaturanga, bend your knees, but so that you can ripple it back, press the earth away, downward facing dog. Next, inhale, bend your knees, belly button to spine, ripple it forward. Think of that cat spine back into plank. Here, we'll go ahead and drop our knees. I'm going to invite my friend to slide over. Inhale, inflate through the collarbones. Exhale, as you press the earth away, you're going to slowly lower down. So I'm pressing the earth away as I lower, keeping my elbows in. Inhale, lift the chest, send it forward, press into the tops of the feet, lift the kneecaps. Exhale, come back down. This is the hard part, so use your knees as you need. Tucking those toes under, I'm going to inhale, inflate, exhale, press the earth away nice and strong, into plank. Now I'm going to lower back down to release my friend, but go ahead and take your way back into a downward facing dog. Couple breaths here. So giving you some options for your sun salutations to check in with your body, to find some softness, but also find some strength. Bend the knees, bend the elbows, inhale. Exhale, press the earth away, finding some length in the spine. Inhale, exhale, make your way forward. Forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, reach it all the way up, inhale. Exhale, hands to heart. How are we feeling? Noticing the heat? Are we starting to find some more space in our bodies? Are we agitated? Are we angry? Just observing. We come to the mat to observe our bodies, our breath, our thoughts, as it completely mirrors our life off the mat. And through this practice, we can cultivate tools, mindsets, and intentions that we can then carry off of the mat to use in our everyday life. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, melt, fold forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step back into plank. We're going to bend the knees, bend the elbows, ripple it back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Bend the knees, bend the elbows, belly button in, ripple it forward, think cat spine, high plank. This time, maybe flip the tops of the feet over, drop the hips, coming into an upward facing dog. Don't crane your neck back here. Just lift the chest, collarbone spread. If you need to lightly rest the upper thighs on the mat, that's okay. We're just sending the energy upward. From here, I'm going to find my way back into plank. Flip the tops of my feet over. And then either drop the knees or lower down through chaturanga. Now, if you can't lower down halfway and hover here, then go ahead and drop your knees. It's much safer on your shoulders, your joints, your wrists, and your hands. Come all the way down. We're going to stay down here. My friend, I guess, just likes to ride up to plank, so these are weighted for me. Tuck the toes under, take a deep breath, full body breath. And then as you exhale, we're going to press the earth away. Take a breath in here, feel your strength, feel your power, and then make your way back to a downward facing dog. Keep breathing. Take a nice deep breath in, bend the elbows, bend the knees. Exhale, press the earth away. Inhale. Exhale, make your way back to the top edge of your mat. We're going to do that round one more time. And then if that's enough for you today, then just press stop. Do a couple more rounds or just find yourself in seated meditation. Lift up halfway, inhale. Exhale, fold. Full body, reach it up. Exhale, hands to heart. Maybe wiggle it out. Take a couple of full body breaths standing. Reground. Maybe you feel a little bit stronger here. And if you don't feel stronger here, maybe just ask yourself why. What self-limiting beliefs, what narratives are you telling yourself to where you can't stand in your power? For just a moment here, just one breath. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, bend down. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, plant the palm, step it back into plank. From plank, we're going to ripple it back, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, bend the knees, ripple it forward, high plank. Feet flip over, upward facing dog, inhale. Back into plank, either drop the knees or lower down, chaturanga. From all the way down, press it back to plank, inhale. And then exhale back to a downward facing dog. Breathe. Choose your own adventure here. If you want to continue for just a little bit more, you're going to inhale your right leg up to the sky, exhale right knee to nose, cat spine once again. Another breath in here, really press the earth away. Exhale, right foot comes forward. We're going to bend that left knee just like we did on the floor. Pelvis is going to tilt forward as we ripple it up. Arms reach up overhead, my back knee is still bent. And then maybe as we root into that right foot, come all the way up into high crescent lunge. Take a couple of breaths here without thrusting the rib cage forward. Keep everything nice and stacked. Exhale, fingertips come down, step it back into plank. Flick your feet over, upward facing dog, inhale. Back to plank. Tuck the toes, lower down halfway. Back to plank, inhale. Exhale, down dog. Second side. Inhale, left leg. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale here. Exhale, left foot forward. Dropping that back knee down to a hover. We're going to wave the body up. Reach the arms up overhead. Root into that left foot. Maybe straighten the back leg. Maybe just stay here. Might find a little more strength, a little more power coming here versus extending all the way through the leg. Find your pose, find your breath. And then we'll take the fingertips down. Left foot steps back. Feet flip over, upward facing dog. Back to plank. Lower down halfway. Into plank. Exhale, down dog. We're going to slowly walk our feet forward. Back to the top edge of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale, exhale, fold. Bend the knees, sink the hips, reach it up. Utkatasana chair pose. Now make sure pelvis and hips, or pelvis and the ribs are still lining up. So we're not dumping into your low back, not thrusting your rib cage forward, and my heels are right underneath my sitting bones. So they're not out too far, and my toes aren't touching. Reach the arms up if that's too much, hands to hips or hands to heart center. Another breath in. And we're going to press into those feet, straighten the legs. If arms are up, bring hands to heart center. A modification of a sun salutation. Feel free to do a couple more rounds of either one or make up your own. Allow your creative juices to flow. Allow your breath to flow, your body to flow. If not, I hope you will take a few moments in seated meditation or lying on your back in Shavasana. Thank you so much for allowing me in your home, allowing me to guide you in practice. I will see you again soon. Namaste.